Hey y'all, aloha. Daniel Aaron with you. I love this opportunity to share with you because this is real stuff and not fun. It was hard. Um, and here's the deal. Self-creation. What do I mean by that? Self-creation is a practice and a process I use for myself and I use with clients every day. And it's basically the idea of this. We are malleable. Who are you? Well, it depends. We change all the time, right? Phil Stutz talks about part X, right? And we all have that part of us, which is weak, afraid, complaining, whiny, doubtful. It's part of being human. We all have also what I call the supreme self, which is who we are at our very best, free of worry, fear, self consideration, who's loving and confident and giving and generous. So, who are we? Depends on how we create ourselves. And the thing is, we're doing it all the time, every time we speak, even our thoughts. That's creating ourself. So, part of what we do is do that intentionally, like every day, especially every morning, consciously create self. Part of how we do that is by speaking out loud what I call my supreme self manifesto. It's a set of declarations that I speak out, I hear, that create me into the state of being of who I choose to be. Now, I speak more at length about that at other times. Leave that aside for a moment. How this relates right now. Yes, recently I got some harsh feedback. It hurt, right? What I learned was that I had created a negative impact in an organization that I care a lot about, that's important to me. Like that I've been, from my perspective, through my intention, showing up for in a great way, giving and serving and doing well and contributing and loving. That's the story I had. However, what I learned is not everybody received me that way. Some people felt like I was selfish or manipulative or trying to get something from them. So, what are the options then? Right? One option is to say, well, they got it wrong, right? Another option is to say, oh, I suck, right? Neither of those options is very good. Although, let's be honest, I'll be honest, part of me reacted with both of those in moments. However, here's the thing. One of my declarations, something I speak out every day, part of how I'm creating myself is I am inspirational leadership and authorship, alchemizing criticism into brilliance. Alchemizing criticism into brilliance. So, here's the way it works. When we speak out who we are, our supreme self, some of which is just evidently true, right? I am love. Yeah, that's my nature. I am inspirational leadership and authorship, alchemizing criticism into brilliance. Well, that's also aspirational. That's like I'm creating. I'm not always that. I have another declaration that says I am unconditional love and prodigious patience. Well, not always. However, that's how I am creating myself, right? I'm moving into that. So when we speak out our declarations, a few things can happen. One, part of us can go, ooh, yesterday I wasn't like that. Ooh, last week I wasn't like that. And that is useful because then that says, ooh, okay, here's an opportunity for improvement, adjustment. Or another possibility is we speak it out and we go, yeah, look at that. I did that yesterday. I was that. Collecting evidence. Another possibility is we speak it out and then we place ourselves in the future, right? And I'll come back to that in a moment. Now, I speak out that declaration about alchemizing criticism into brilliance, in part because I know for me to love and serve and make the impact I would love to be making in the world, I need to learn, right? And part of how I learn is through feedback. And if I receive feedback that's negative and I collapse, doesn't do anybody any good. Or if I get defensive, that doesn't do any good. I need, in order to reach who I would choose to be in the world and make the impact I want, I need to receive the feedback and learn from it and grow from it. Right? There was a great story from David Goggins in his last book and he's somebody who's, social media super famous now. So of course he gets a lot of trolls and criticism. What did he do? He made a audio tape. He made a recording of a whole bunch of people's attacks on him, one after the other, what they said about him. And he made it into a loop and he played it on a stereo really loud so that he could receive all of that and alchemize it. That's part of what inspired me to that. So, bringing this all together, I receive this criticism. One thing I completely believe, a great leadership principle, is that as leaders, we are responsible for the impact that we have, even if it's different from our intention, right? So I can say, no, that's not what I meant, and you got it wrong. Well, that's not real leadership, right? There's a saying in NLP, which is we can measure communication by the effect we get back, right? The measure of a communication is the response we get. So regardless of my intention, the result, the impact I created was not good. It was hurtful to some people. Yeah, that really hurt for me. So I intersect. Here's the feedback I got with here's the declaration. And now it's been a week, right? And I've had various iterations saying, okay, what can I learn from this? How can I grow from this? How can I alchemize it? Take the lead and turn it into gold. That's alchemy. How can I take the pain of this and learn and grow from it? Right? And I could go into details about the organization and what the feedback was and what I've done with it. That's really secondary. And so keeping this video short, I hope it makes sense. I hope it's useful. More than anything, what I hope for you is that you see the possibility of creating yourself. And when things come up that are not in alignment with who you choose to be, that's okay. That's good, right? Because if we're going to grow and expand and reach to our highest potential, it's inevitable we're going to find out what's the stuff between where I am now and where I choose to be. It takes courage. Quotation about that, one that I love. Friedrich Nietzsche said, "The strength of a person's spirit would then be measured by how much truth he could tolerate, or more precisely, to what extent he needs to have it diluted, disguised, sweetened, muted, falsified." I would say that again, except for it's long and you could rewind. It's powerful, it's strong. It's like, woof, right? When I mess things up, when I create negative results, I say, how did I create that? Because I want to know. I want to know the truth. Even if it hurts, it's that hurt. And this is like the knife going in and turning. And that's how it felt when I got that feedback. If it hurts, that gives me motivation. It helps me to be able to learn. So I hope that is helpful. And if you'd like to talk about that, if you'd like to explore, I would love to get to know you, what you're up to, and see how we might work together, partner, to help you create anything and everything you would love in your life. Send me a direct message.